Today we're going to be cooking a ground beef dish. It's going to be ground beef with a creamy garlic and butter and an onion sauce that goes over it, and then you put it all over penne noodles. So the first thing what we're going to do is we're going to actually get the penne noodles going. Go ahead and grab my penne noodles. I like to start my penne noodles first. That way they get a head start, especially on gas. Gas takes a little bit longer, and I don't use stainless steel. Stainless steel burns a little faster, but I don't really like stainless steel. So I don't need quite a whole box. But yeah, I like non-stick over the stainless steel. I mean, I might go do some stainless steel later on, but as of right now, I've never been a huge stainless steel person. Either that or I just never experienced, cooking on stainless steel just yet. So go ahead and turn it on high. Also, to get the water to boil a little bit quicker, throw a little bit of salt in there. I don't cook with salt. You won't see me on this channel cooking with a crap ton of salt at all. A lot of mine are salt-free, or just whatever meat and stuff has salt on it. So I just use a little bit of sea salt right there. Go ahead and put the cover on it so it can come up to a rolling boil. Get that going. Next is we're going to go ahead and start the beef. So it's just I got about 1.5 pounds of ground beef. I am not going to season nothing at this point right now. Nothing of this is going to be seasoned at all. I like to drain my meat. I don't care even if I buy lean meat. Whenever I'm done, I soak all the grease out or rinse all the grease out after I'm done cooking my beef. And then from that point, then I go ahead and I season and put all my seasonings in. I forgot one thing. So for this recipe here, you're gonna need your beef, your penne noodles. You're gonna need some beef broth, some heavy whipping cream, Parmesan cheese, minced garlic. If you want, I throw a little extra in, so I have onion powder, garlic powder, black pepper, and then I get this, instead of using Italian seasoning, this is called Italian and herb. And I really, let me get that in focus there, see if it comes in. But I really, really like this one right here from Sam's. And then I'm gonna grab an onion and some butter. So that's gonna be for the base of the sauce right there with the heavy whipping cream. And then at the end, you just throw in a little bit of Parmesan cheese and then you're done. So if you're not used to cooking, or if you're new at cooking, obviously I'm new at making a cooking channel. This is gonna be my first video for my cooking channel. I do a lot of cooking, and everyone keeps telling me to start a cooking channel. I have 2 other YouTube channels out there. I'll leave links down in the description below. But I do a lot of cooking, and I enjoy cooking. Some people, I enjoy baking as well. And my wife and my family and everyone, they wanted me to start a small bakery. And I'm like, I enjoy it so much, I don't want to take the enjoyment out of cooking or baking anymore. But yeah, go ahead and let that simmer, or let that cook right there. So the next thing that we're gonna do is we're gonna get our onion ready. So if y'all have family members, husband, kids, wife, and they do not like onion, I'm gonna show y'all a quick, easy way for the onion itself. One of the quick, easy ways for the onion, I'm gonna put right here, is and I just have a small onion, as you see right here. I just got a small onion. It's just a little bitty. So I'm gonna go ahead and cut off one side of the onion. I'm not a big person to chop and dice onion. So what I'm gonna do though is I am gonna peel it. So now that I have it peeled, I'm gonna go ahead and grab a cheese grater. Cheese grater is gonna actually be your best friend. I do this as well with doing morning hash browns. My daughter does not like onion. A lot of kids don't like onion. But this is a way to actually put your onion in, unless you just want the big flakes, and then you can of course make a separate dish and saute your own onions up. But even me though, sometimes I don't want big huge pieces. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna take it and then you're gonna shred it like you would cheese. Get that knife out of my way. And you're just gonna come down and you're just gonna go ahead and shred it all up. Get your hand inside there, go ahead and pull all the onion out. Don't forget, whenever you're cooking with onion, go ahead and rinse off your hands. Wash your hands good. You don't want to contaminate stuff. But yeah, like I said, we're getting that beef going. I can see a little bit of bubbling going on right now with the penne noodles, which is a good thing. That's what we want. We want that to start boiling in the penne noodles. That way they get done, because when we're done with this here and we start mixing everything in, then we're gonna add the penne noodles straight to it. Again, you don't want, I mean, it's up to you. If you want big chunks in your meal, you can leave bigger chunks. Me, I like to get the crumble. I like to just crumble it down. I don't want no huge chunks of beef. But these are really quick, easy. You don't need hamburger helpers to make, you know, really easy meals. You can do things without hamburger helper and come out with a better tasting meal than just with hamburger helper. Yeah, and I do a little bit of cooking. I mean, here's some of my spices right here. Pots and pans over here, some more spices here. I mean, I got spice galore. As my channel starts to grow, I'm going to get other cameras to go overhead. Watch your water as it boils, especially on gas. As soon as you bring it to a rolling boil here, you can go ahead and take the lid off of it. Or if you have a lid that you just want to like half and half, like kind of tilt it on there a little bit to let some of it out. If not, it'll just start boiling. I mean, it also on electricity too, on electric stove, electric range, it does the same thing. All right, so my meat's almost done. I don't have to cook it until it's completely brown, so I'm gonna go ahead and turn it off. Because now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go over there and I'm gonna strain it, but this is what happens. You see over here with the noodles. So I'm gonna go ahead and pull actually my lid off and let it finish boiling this way here. Penne noodles are a little different. If you want a more of a authentic, you know, noodle, then you don't have to cook them as long. Me and my family, we like ours a little, you know, we like ours soft. So we don't like that al dente on a lot of these noodles. Watch out with leaving, especially on gas, if you're new to gas, maybe. Or say you're watching this and then you move to gas. Don't just leave your utensils inside your water or in your food. The gas will actually burn you. It'll heat up your utensil and get really hot. You go to grab it and you're gonna burn your hand. So I don't use nothing dramatic. I just have just an old little strainer here, and I'm gonna go over here and I'm gonna strain my meat. Okay, so I've already drained my meat and rinsed it off with water. Go ahead and get all that, most of the grease as much as I can get out of it. So now I'm just gonna take my pan now, I'm gonna return it on, get that going, and now I'm gonna go ahead and drop in my onion. Make sure nothing's on there. Go ahead and bring it to the sink, get everything in the sink. Go ahead and take your butter. You can use about 2 teaspoons of butter, unless you want a little bit more butter. Again, I use unsweetened unsalted butter. I don't like to cook with a lot of salt. Same thing, I don't like a lot of things greasy. I use about 4 tablespoons of butter though. Also depends on your diet. If you're on like a keto style diet, of course you wouldn't be using these noodles, but something like this can actually work for, the sauce itself can work for keto. What we're gonna do is we're gonna go ahead and let the onion and everything sizzle and get a little caramelized in here just a little bit before we throw the beef back in here. So we'll let that go ahead and start cooking over there. Go ahead and give our penne noodles a quick stir. They're starting to bloat pretty good over here. So the next thing we're going to do is I'm going to grab a measuring cup. roughly half to 1 cup of beef broth. So I'm gonna actually use a cup for what I'm doing today, which is pretty much gonna be all of my beef broth. I'm no professional, I didn't go to school. This things I picked up over the years, and I enjoy cooking, I enjoy tasting my food. I'm not one of the people who like to put their food in their mouth and the minute you taste it, you go, this is good. I like to actually savor the flavor, I guess, you know, put it in my mouth and chew it around a little bit and really, really get to taste it. I'll go ahead and give another little stir on my peonies over here. All right, so now what we're gonna do is we're gonna go ahead and grab the beef. And now we're gonna throw that beef in there. So I am gonna cook this on high and let a lot of the water and some more of the juices of the onion get into the meat now a little bit. Just mix it around. Make sure there ain't no big clumps of onion everywhere. So one of the biggest reasons why I actually want to start the YouTube channel at the same time is my daughter wants me to write her a cookbook, and I'm like, I'll just do a YouTube channel. You just watch the videos later, you know. I think it was just easier that way. All right. So now what we want to do is we're going to go ahead and pour that beef broth in. Since it's still hot, we want to start with the beef broth first. Get a small little possible boil off of it. Because what you want to do is you want to get that beef broth into your meat. Because this is what's going to actually basically be a roux for the sauce that's going to be being made while it's in here. So I'm going to go ahead and turn the peony noodles off. And I'm just going to let them soak in that water until they're ready to go in. You can get some garlic bread. Me, I have some garlic sticks, bread sticks, which is what we're going to use tonight for ours. I'm going to go ahead and pull those out, get those ready to go into the air fryer. Air fryers, really quick. I'll be doing some air fry foods as well on this channel. Quick and easy. I mean, this right here ain't gonna take me no more than 30 minutes to make. It might take a little bit longer because of the video itself, but this right here, this meal here, without setting up cameras and everything else, this right here only takes about 20 to 30 minutes. All right, I'm gonna go ahead and lower my heat just a little bit. I got a little bit of boiling going on with that beef broth. So now what I'm gonna do is, which there again, you can do any step you want on this, but now I'm going to go ahead and add in the garlic. And yes, you can use fresh if you want and dice it and mince it yourself, but I don't. I just buy the pre-minced garlic. I use it so much that it never really sits in the refrigerator. But I got a good teaspoon, or tablespoon, excuse me. Maybe a tablespoon and a half, and then of course let's go ahead and mix that up in there a little bit. All right, I'm going to start separating the meat a little bit. I'm going to start moving it to the sides. Now I'm going to go ahead and add just a little bit of black pepper. Go ahead and put that right there in the middle so I can see how much is actually on there. Remember, some of this might look more to you on the video than what it really is. Now I'm going to use my Italian and herb. And now this one here, I mean, I need quite a bit of this. I need to get an electric grinder. But you want to use quite a bit. I'll use this actually a couple of times throughout because I like to make sure that the meat is nice and flavorful. You know, I don't want it not flavorful. All right, then I'm gonna go ahead and throw a little bit of onion powder. You can use ground onion instead of powder, and then a little bit of garlic powder. So if you have a Sam's, all this is really good at getting at Sam's. So now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go ahead and turn the heat up just a little bit and go ahead and start stirring that. fixing to get ready to start putting in our heavy whipping cream. You can use half and half if you would like, if the cream's too thick, too rich for you. If you do that, or say even if heavy whipping cream is too much money and you don't want to buy it just for a couple of meals, because it does get expensive with heavy whipping cream. I won't lie on that one. You can take half and half and mix that with a little bit of regular milk. So I'm going to go ahead, before it starts to boil too much, we'll go ahead and pour that in there. And then we want to start stirring it in, getting that cream base really going. Because now what we want to do is we're going to need this to start boiling a little bit, because it's going to be, you know, a little too wet for what we're wanting. But again, just make sure, and if you see any big onions or whatever in there, you can go ahead and chop them up. They should be soft enough now to start chopping. So let's go ahead and leave it like that right there. And at this time, when it starts doing this, that's just me getting everything ready, you know, before we eat dinner. As I go ahead and start putting up all my seasonings, get everything put up back in their areas where they need to go. Actually, I need to get some more seasonings, is what I need to do. But that's pretty much the whole meal right there. Like I said, you have some garlic bread. If it gets a little too thick or too thin, and you need to actually thicken it, so you did too much, if you have a little bit of cornstarch is actually the best. But if you don't have cornstarch on the ham, you know, most people they do have flour, so you can just sprinkle. Make sure it's not clumps, but just sprinkle it in there, start stirring around, let it boil for just a little bit, and keep doing that until it thickens up. You don't want to put too much, because then you start taking away the flavor. And that's why we use heavy whipping cream as well, because heavy whipping cream, as it cooks, it thickens as well. It binds to meats. Let's go ahead and throw that over there, put that on the spoon me. Because like I said, I like mine very flavorful, so I'm not seeing a lot of the red Italian seasoning in here, so I want to go ahead and start putting some more on here. Another one that a lot of people ask me that come over and when I barbecue or cook, or any of my family that comes over, it's especially my daughter though. She wants to know how come I don't taste my food before we eat. I don't taste food as I'm cooking it, unless it's a brand new dish or something that I'm trying. Then I will, but for the majority of it, no. So I'm seeing it really starting to get thin in here. So just a little bit more. And where are we at? We're at 18 minutes right now of cooking time, actual cooking time. So again, I mean, you're on a fast-paced schedule. You know, you go to work, your kids are home for summer, you're trying to get home, make sure they didn't tear up your house, everything like that. I mean, you get home and you don't want to sit there and make a 3-hour dinner. This right here, again, 30 minutes, it's done. And again, you can do something similar to this, and I'll show some of them as well on here. You can use red sauce. If you like red sauce, you can do it as well with red sauce, even with the heavy whipping cream. I already use a tomato Alfredo, and adding that heavy whipping cream, you get a lot less repeat or heartburn from it. So you can actually do this with a red sauce. I actually do one similar to this with a red sauce that I do with my raviolis. I'm trying to think of my other ones I do. Oh, tortellinis, my tortellinis. I do one. I do a beefy tortellini. So as you see, it's starting to really thicken up in here. Almost time to put those penne noodles in here. You don't have to use penne if you want to do this with some regular spaghetti noodles. Same thing, you can toss it with some regular spaghetti noodles. You can use spirals. You can use I wouldn't use big shells, but you can use the small shells. You can do it on multiple different things. So before I put the noodles in, because I mean we're going to be using, again, Sam's. I get a lot of things at Sam's. It's really nice to grab the big bulk. But I like to put my Parmesan in right now before I put the noodles in, because we're going to want to put in some more on after, you know, when we sit down to eat dinner. So let's go ahead, and you'll learn what's best for you and your family and the taste and texture. Me, I use about a half a cup. Again, we're gonna start stirring it, and it's really starting to thicken up nice now. If you notice, I haven't drained the water on the penne noodles over here. I don't drain mine. So I let them absorb. A little foul there. I let them absorb as much as I can, and then I'll start adding them in. Man, I'm dropping some penne noodles. I need to get that one out of there before it burns. All right, nice little hotness there. But I'm gonna go ahead and get it over there. But I use a spoon with the holes in it. That way I'm not getting too much water, but it also gives me a little bit of extra water if I need them over in the dish itself. Now I don't have no, you know, parsley or anything like that I'm gonna be putting over mine. This is gonna be pretty much it of the video right here. Go ahead and like and subscribe if you want other easy meal ideas like this. I'll be bringing more out. Leave comments down below. See, I also didn't drain the noodles as well because I don't want to use all the penne noodles in here, because I'm not going to need them all. If you go by serving size, this right here, real servings, and you're on a diet and you're worried about your actual serving size, this will probably feed 6 to 8 people. We don't worry about that. We eat probably 2 servings each. So we'll get about 4 to 5 out of this. And that looks good right there. Go ahead and turn it down just a little bit. And then I start judging my noodles. How much spice do I see on the noodle? So that's how I look at mine. Since I don't really, I don't taste test on mine because I already know what I'm cooking and how it normally comes out. Don't even sound conceited there, but I do. But I think it looks pretty good spiced. Maybe missing just a little bit. So I'll just sprinkle a little bit more over the top. You can also take mozzarella. You can drop some mozzarella on the top of this and make this a cheesy dish as well. So I'm just, like I said, I'm just gonna sprinkle a little bit over that over the top. I need to go ahead and get my air fryer going so we can get the breadsticks on there. All right, I'm gonna go ahead and turn it off. I just wanna make sure that I'm still seeing some juices at the bottom of it because we don't want it too dry. We wanna enjoy it. We don't need to be taking a drink after every bite we take. So, but yeah, that's it. That's this quick and easy ground beef dish. Is again creamy beef garlic. It's a creamy beef butter garlic is what it is. I just threw in the onion to it because I use a lot of onion, but that onion complements the garlic complements the onion, which both complement the beef. And mixing it all together, get that little cream in it with that heavy whipping cream. You get that Italian taste to it with the Italian and herb. Again, you can play around with a couple other spices, but yeah, I like this dish. I've done it a couple of times. You can use bow ties in it. Bow tie has a good one on there if you use the bow tie noodles. The seasonings absorb to it a different way. But I'm Thomas with Cooking with Thomas. Thank you for watching. Hopefully y'all like and subscribe, and I'll see y'all in the next one.